I wanted to talk a little bit today about telling stories, and I thought I would start with a book, because this book, Little Bear by Else Holmelund Minarik, pictures by Maurice Sendak, who you might know from Where the Wild Things Are. Anyway, this book talks about a mama telling some stories, and so I thought I would start with a chapter from this book. And as it turns out, it's the last chapter, and it talks about the stories told in the rest of the book. So here it is, Little Bear, and we will start at the beginning of the last chapter, the fourth chapter, and it's called Little Bear's Wish. And here is that first picture. You can tell by the picture that it is bedtime for Little Bear, isn't it? All right, so I'll read this. Little Bear, said Mother Bear. Yes, Mother, said Little Bear. You are not asleep, said Mother Bear. No, Mother, said Little Bear. I can't sleep. Why not, said Mother Bear. I'm wishing, said Little Bear. What are you wishing for, said Mother Bear. I wish that I could sit on a cloud and fly all around, said Little Bear. You can't have that wish, my little bear, said Mother Bear. Then I wish I could find a Viking boat, said Little Bear, and the Vikings would say, come away, here we go, away, away. You can't have that wish, my little bear, said Mother Bear. Then I wish I could find a tunnel, said Little Bear, going all the way to China. I would go to China and come back with chopsticks for you. You can't have that wish, my little bear, said Mother Bear. Then I wish I had a big red car, said Little Bear. I would go fast, fast. I would come to a big castle. Oh, can you see the car? There's the car. A princess would come out and say, have some cake, Little Bear, and I would have some. You can't have that wish, my little bear, said Mother Bear. Then I wish, said Little Bear, a mother bear would come to me and say, would you like to hear a story? Well, said Mother Bear, that's just a little wish. Maybe you can have that wish. Thank you, Mother Bear, said Little Bear. That was what I really wanted all the time. What kind of a story would you like to hear, said Mother Bear. Tell me about me, said Little Bear. Tell me about things I once did. Well, said Mother Bear, once you played in the snow and you wanted something to put on. Oh, yes, that was fun, said Little Bear. Tell me something more about me. Well, said Mother Bear, once you put on your space helmet and you played going to the moon. That was fun too, said Little Bear. Tell me more about me. Well, said Mother Bear, once you thought you had no birthday cake, so you made birthday soup. Oh, that was fun too, said Little Bear, and then you came with the cake. You always make me happy. And now, said Mother Bear, you can make me happy too. How? Said Little Bear. You can go to sleep, said Mother Bear. Well, then I will, said Little Bear. Good night, Mother dear. Good night, Little Bear. Sleep well. And there he is, ready for bed. I like this story for a couple of reasons. The first is I love Little Bear. There's a lot of Little Bear books that you could check out at the library. They're easy reading and they are fun little stories. This one has 4 chapters. I believe they're all in that format where you could read a chapter at a time. Even my 2-year-old granddaughter enjoys listening to these stories. So that's one part. But the other part is this kind of was a springboard for telling stories. And I think it's fun to tell stories. I grew up, my mom was a kindergarten teacher, and she taught for many years, but she had a great imagination, as you can imagine. So she would tell me stories at bedtime. They all centered around a little hole that was in the floor of my old room in my old house. So this little hole was about this big around. I'm sure it was for a pipe. But in our imagination world, it was for an elf named Spunky. And Mom would tell me Spunky stories all the time. She would ask me for the details. She would say, "What is Spunky doing today?" And I would say, "Spunky's having an adventure with a blue jay," because blue jays were the mascot animal of the team for the local school. So, okay, Spunky's with a blue jay. What is Spunky and the blue jay doing? They are flying to look for a new place for a playground. Okay, so I gave the basics as a child, and then Mom told the story from there. She would say something like, "Well, one day Spunky was out walking and he happened to see a blue jay up in the tree, and the blue jay was making a lot of noise." Well, blue jays like to make a lot of noise, but this blue jay was particularly upset. And Spunky said, "What's going on, Mr. Blue Jay?" And the blue jay said, "Well, I saw some children playing and they were doing things that were not safe for them to do." "Well," Spunky said, "they must need a new playground. Let's go look for a spot for a new playground." Okay, so Spunky climbed on top of that blue jay and flew right on top of him because Spunky was a tiny little elf. So he flew on top of that blue jay. And they flew all around the city, and right on the edge of the city, they saw a spot. So they flew down and checked it out. Oh, it wasn't any good for a playground. There was too busy a road right next to it. It wouldn't be safe. So they flew back up into the air and flew again around the city and saw another spot tucked right in the middle of the city. And they flew down there, and oh, sure enough, that spot wasn't good either. It was just not safe. So one more time, the blue jay and Spunky went up, and they flew around and around and around. And you know what? They found the perfect spot. It was on the edge of the city again, but on the other side, and it was safe, and it was beautiful, and all they needed was for people to build a playground there. So tomorrow night, you would hear the rest of the story about Spunky. That's how my mom would do it. She would tell part of the story one night and then tell me to come back the next night. I think now, as a grown-up, maybe she needed more time to think of ideas. But as a kid, I just loved waiting and hearing this whole story from her. So I don't know if it's a skill that you have or if it's something you want to do, but telling stories can be a lot of fun, and the kids really do appreciate it. It doesn't have to be a fabulous story. Sometimes, like the book that I had, you can tell a story about the child when she or he was little. Or sometimes you could tell a story about the grown-up when he or she was little. I'm just going to encourage you to give it a try and see if you are enjoying telling stories. Bye for now.